This Good Morning Northwest morning spread is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
All right, 6:53 is your time. Let's get you ready for your Monday and the start of your work week here in the morning sprint.
Mark Peterson has a look at a steadily warming forecast as we could hit record temps later this week.
And Desi Richards is live at the Kroc Center with some ways you can bolster your swimming skills.
But we start with some breaking news from overnight. At least one person was killed in a car crash in North Spokane. This happened late last night at the intersection of 7 Mile and 9 Mile roads just before midnight. We know one person died at the scene. We are hoping to learn more today about what caused that crash or if anyone else was hurt.
Grant County detectives are investigating a body found in an irrigation canal this weekend near Mattawa. A woman called first responders Saturday afternoon to report a drowning off of Road U Southwest. Firefighters and the sheriff's deputies recovered the man and tried to revive him, but they were not able to do so. The man's identity is still unknown. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to call the Grant County Sheriff's Office. The number there on the bottom of your screen, 509-762-1160.
In our first alert weather today, the forecast going to be increased mugginess. We are going to have temperatures that are going to warm up to 85, but it's going to be in the low to mid 80s all afternoon long. So just be aware of that. The forecast radar, we're going to have variable clouds. We're going to see more scattered showers firing up this afternoon around the region, but it's tomorrow afternoon we're going to see a lot, and that's going to be a more concentrated hit for thunderstorm activity. Some of those could be slow moving. Our highs today, well, they're going to be pretty warm. We're going to have temperatures that are going to be in the mid 80s all over the area.
A man and woman were arrested in North Spokane County after a lengthy standoff with deputies. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says the man also tried to lure and distract deputies away from the scene by calling a store and saying there was an active shooter. Following the standoff, 37-year-old Jack Crother and 35-year-old Kaylee Zorns were booked into the Spokane County Jail on several charges.
A dog died in a house fire in the Eagle Ridge neighborhood of South Spokane Saturday night. The fire broke out at a home on South Dandy Court. There were no people inside the home at the time. Spokane Fire Chief Brian Schaefer says the large plume of smoke could be seen from downtown Spokane. Another dog was taken to the hospital.
Voters in Coeur d'Alene will decide the fate of hundreds of school employees in tomorrow's supplemental levy vote. It originally failed in March, leaving a $25 million hole in the yearly budget, forcing the school board to declare a financial emergency. Besides staff, the district says if the levy fails to pass, 2 schools will have to close. Ramsey, Dalton, Bora, and Bryan elementaries are on the chopping block. We want to hear from you on KXLY.com, where we have a form to submit your questions or concerns about this levy.
Well, with temperatures on the rise, you might be tempted to take a dip in the river to cool off, but we want to caution you. The water may look calm on the surface, but because of all that spring runoff, even the strongest swimmers could be swept away. And besides that strong current, the water is still extremely cold, so your body could go into shock rather quickly.
It is perfect pool weather, though, in the inland northwest. You still need to be safe around any body of water. And this morning, we've been highlighting the adult learn to swim lessons here at the Salvation Army Kroc Center. If you missed a slot, they offer them every single year, but there's also a fun National Learn to Swim Day event coming up this Saturday, 12:30 to 2:30. It is free for all ages, but you do need to pre-register and go to our website, KXLY.com, for more details.
All right, talks about raising the U.S.'s spending ceiling remains in a stalemate. President Joe Biden and top congressional leaders, including House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, are expected to meet tomorrow to discuss it. McCarthy and House Republicans say they will raise the debt limit $1.5 trillion if cuts are made to the budget. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen recently warned the U.S. could default on its obligations as soon as June 1st if Congress doesn't find a solution.
Since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, governments in red states have moved to implement strict abortion restrictions. Idaho doctor Lauren Miller specializes in maternal fetal medicine and high-risk pregnancies. But things are different now that the state has passed a near-total abortion ban. Dr. Miller is planning to move her practice out of Idaho to Colorado, where abortion is still legal. Of the 117 doctors she formally surveyed in Idaho, 75 answered yes or maybe when asked if they were considering leaving, at least in part because of the state's abortion laws.
In the race for the White House, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is not officially in the race, but he did take advantage of bad weather in Iowa to contrast himself with former President Donald Trump. DeSantis has been expected to make more moves this week toward establishing an official White House campaign. We'll check weather with Mark one more time next.